Welcome to the last actual learning component of Med 104. Next week will really just be a review with a study guide and preparation for the final exam. But this week that we are starting now, we are going to finish learning about giving actual medications, and we'll be talking about what you would have done had we been in class. I'll get more to that later. But the very last part we have to go over about administering medications refers to controlled substances. And we haven't touched on this yet. So in your instruction notes folder, you will see that I have included instructions for the countable controlled substance book. You're going to want to refer to that while you view this video. So I have the whole booklet up here that I put down in the notes for you. The second page, so that you had the front cover. The next page simply tells you about the agency, supposedly, that these people are housed at, and the name of the site. And this is book number 1. And then it's divided into little sections. Section 1 is the index. Section 2 is the count sheets for the actual people, the residents, with their meds. And section 3 is the signature sheet. Okay? So, right here, this is the index. And the index of this booklet tells you all the medications, every controlled substance that is given at this agency and to whom it is given to. So you actually only have 4 people here, but 2 people have multiple controlled substances. We have David Cook, who gets phenobarbital, 32.4 milligrams, as well as Tramadol, 25 milligrams. We have Tanisha Johnson, who gets clonazepam, 1 milligram, and phenobarbital, 32.4 milligrams. We have Ellen Tracy, who gets lorazepam, 0.5 milligrams. And we have Juanita Gomez, who gets Tramadol, 50 milligrams. The numbers that I put on the side here, those are the 5 homework parts to the homework assignment that you have this week. The last one for David Cook here, I'm going to go over that with you and use it as an example right now so that you know how to do the homework. Okay? But before we do that, let's first take a look. This is the beginning, the first page of David Cook's entry for phenobarbital. And you will be doing the second part of it. This is the first page. You'll notice that there's an X near original entry, but this continues on to a second page, which has an X on transferred from page 1, because his medication continues to be taken daily, so they have to extend the pages. So watch if it's original or transferred. Okay? All right, so what does the original page look like? It has the name of the patient or the resident, the doctor. So David Cook was the resident. Dr. Black is his doctor. The pharmacy, Greenleaf Pharmacy. The medication and strength, phenobarbital, 32.4 milligrams. The directions say take 3 tablets by mouth once daily in the evening. And then on the other side, it has the prescription number, N671, and the prescription date, February 17. And last week we were using the year 2019, so let's continue to do that, 2019, okay? And then we start over here, and you'll see that the first date that's written in there is the date that the home, the facility, receives the medication from the pharmacy. This is typically, it may be picked up, it might be driven over, but nonetheless, the date that they received it was February 17th, 2019, we'll use. The time was 9 a.m. in the morning. And then underneath route, amount of on hand, and amount used is simply written in received from pharmacy. And the amount left is the original amount that was just delivered from the pharmacy, which in this case was 42 pills, okay, of phenobarbital. I've noticed that in filling out these sheets, it looks to me like they deliver every 2 weeks. So you have 14 days worth of medication. So 14 days with 3 tablets per day comes to the 42 that they start out with. And whenever medication, a controlled substance, is received, it must have the signature of 2 different people who work there. So Linda White and Sam Dowd both signed, okay? All this, of course, would be in pen, okay, not pencil. All right, so the amount that they penciled in here, 42. That night, because this patient, David, gets his medication once daily in the evening. So that night, 2/17/19 at 8 p.m., the route is by mouth. The amount on hand is 42, because we're just beginning it. The amount he's given is 3 tablets. 3 has to be written in here with the word 3, T-H-R-E-E, not the number 3. And then the amount left is 39. And then whoever gives David his medication then signs. In this case, it was Jenna Sherman. Okay. The reason for writing the number 3 here in a word is so that it can't be altered or tampered with. Okay. All right. So that leaves 39. The next night, February 18th, 2019 at 8 p.m. The route is by mouth. We start out with 39. We take it from the previous night. So 39 was left. So we start with 39 on hand. Again, he's given 3, spelled out, T-H-R-E-E. 3 from 39 is 36. And again, it was Jenna who gave him the medication. And then so on and so forth until, after 2 weeks, the medication, the last entry here shows that on March 2nd of 2019 at 8 p.m., David got his medication by mouth. There was 3 pills on hand. He received, the amount used was 3, T-H-R-E-E. 3 minus 3 is 0. So now there is no medicine left, and Amanda Smith signed it. The amount left is 0. She's saying we're transferring to page 2, and again, whenever you're leaving a page, it needs to, when you start and when you finish, it needs 2 signatures. So Amanda and Jenna signed. Now, when you go to the next page, transferred over, you can see what happens. And this is where you're going to start your homework. This is the same medication and everything. It's a transfer to page 2, okay? On 3/2 of 2019, at 9 p.m., they transferred to another page, and there was nothing left, all right? And both people signed again. The same people who finished here, Amanda and Jenna, reiterated that over here, they were transferring to a second page, but there was nothing left. So what happens? The next morning, 3/3/2019 at 9 a.m., we start all over again, just like we did here. We received from the pharmacy, and we would say 42, because as I said, we're going to continue to use 14 days worth of medication. So 42 tablets, we start here. That was witnessed by Linda White and Sam Dowd, because this is a new time. So each time something comes from the pharmacy, 2 people sign it. And then they would continue just like this with 3 pills per night until it got to 0 again, and they would have to reorder. Okay, now you're going to refer to your, I'm going to stop here for 1 second. You are going to have your instructions for the homework, and you'll see where to begin, how many on hand. I've kind of done the math for you. I'm sure you could do it. And you're going to enter in 5 days worth of entries. Just be careful. 5 days may have an administered medication once, or it could be 2 times a day, or it could be 3 times a day. So you got to be careful for that. You're going to enter 5 days though, no matter how many administrations that is. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do, the next ones are yours to do, but I'm going to go and we'll do one together right now. As I said, I'm going to use the last David Cook, so page 7. All right, and I'm just going to grab a pen right now. Okay, I'm grabbing a pencil, but this would be done in pen. I just want to be able to start this over again. So we have David Cook. We have all the information. Dr. Black ordered it. Greenleaf Pharmacy again. The medication this time is Tramadol 25 milligrams. And the directions say take 2 tablets by mouth 3 times a day. All right. This is an original entry. So it needs 2 people's signature, which it has, Linda White and Sam Dowd. We have the prescription number. We have the date, March 3, 2019. Remember, you're using 2019. So the first thing that's indicated here is that the date is March 3rd, 2019 at 9 a.m. They received this medication from the pharmacy, and the amount left is, okay, 2 tablets, 3 times a day. So they're getting 2 plus 2 plus 2, that's 6 tablets every day times 14 days. All right. That means we're going to start this with 84 pills. All right. And that's, once it has been counted, Linda White and Sam Dowd are going to sign. So this comes in at 9 a.m., correct? And he gets it 3 times a day. Depending on what time of day he gets it, he may or may not receive all 3 dosages. So we're going to say that, let's say that he gets it at, we'll work backwards. Say he gets it at 8 p.m. And then we'll go back. If he's, Tramadol's for pain. So you want to give this so that he's has medication in his body through the whole day. So we don't want to give it every 4 hours. We want to go at least 6, maybe even 8 hours in between. So if we give the last one at 8 p.m., we could give a second one at, if we take 6 hours, that would be 2 p.m. And then if we go 6 hours before that, that would be 8 a.m. In which case, it is now 9 a.m. So we're not sure if he's actually going to, if he gets it at 8 a.m., he's missed that dose. So you can kind of decide if you come across this in your, the other assignment pages. I'm going to say that he gets it at 8 a.m., 2 p.m., and 8 p.m. So he's missed the 8 a.m. dose. We are not going to try to catch him up to it. Instead, we're going to start, and we're going to say that on 3/3 of 19 at 2 p.m. That's the first time he's getting this medication. He's getting it by mouth, or you can put oral, either one. The amount on hand, we started with 84. Amount used, he gets 2 tablets every time. I don't put in 2, I write out the number 2. 84 minus the 2, here I'm going to write the number 82, and I am going to sign my name. This, of course, would be in pen, okay? The next time, when it comes to 8 p.m. and he needs his last dose for the day, same date, 3/3/19 at 8 p.m. by mouth or orally, however it's been done. We start out, the amount on hand is 82 this time. We're going to give 2. 82 minus 2 is 80, and I sign my name again. Okay. The next morning, it is now March 4th, 2019. So 3/4/19, 8 a.m. And it's really important that the AMs and the PMs are distinguished. Route by mouth. We started with, the amount on hand was 80 from the previous day. The amount used, 2. 80 minus 2, we're down to 78, and I sign it. And I would keep going. If this were the homework, I want 5 days worth, right? Okay, so I only did one in a, well, now I said 5 days, and if it works out, he's supposed to get, excuse me, you want to go all through 5 days worth of medication dosages. So if he's getting it 3 times a day, so far he's really gotten it just the 3 so far. So then I would do 3 more. That would take care of a second day. 3 more the third. 3 more the fourth. Then I would need to extend this actually to an extra page. I do not think that in your homework any of them are given 3 times a day. If they are, then you may just have to attach another piece of paper, kind of draw it out and continue on, okay? Remember, we want 5 days worth, okay? If you can't print off, then you're going to have to draw this diagram, okay? Again, it's not really hard. Just look at it and write in if you can't print anything off, okay? All right, and then you don't have to do this unless you end up with 0 amount of medication. But I don't believe that will happen. Okay, so that's all you're doing. That's your homework. You have 5 examples to do. Now I do want to show you the last page of this controlled substance booklet, and this is the count signature sheet. Whenever an institution uses controlled substances or has them on hand for patients, they have to be counted daily, sometimes twice daily, but at least once. So this is a signature sheet. So on 3/3 of 2019 at 3:10 p.m., all the controlled substances in the location were counted. Did they have the correct amount? It's either a yes or no. And then 2 people have to sign. Now, I'm looking at incoming and outgoing staff. So it might be that when someone takes over for another person, that's when the count had to be done, which is why 3:10 seems weird. But Amanda was leaving and Sam was coming in. So that might have been why that 3:10 p.m. was used. At the end of the night, then Sam and probably someone else is going to do it again and verify that at the end of the day, the count was correct as well. Okay? You don't have to do anything with this on your homework. I just kind of want to show you that so you know what it is. Okay. Now, I just want to explain or just kind of tell you about a couple of the other things that I did post under instruction notes for this week. One of them you're going to see is competency evaluation guides. And another is the instructions for performing a competency evaluation. Now, a competency evaluation is what we would have done had we been at school face-to-face. And we would have done a simulation where you would have counted out medication and given it to a pretend patient. Since we are not able to do that, instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you do it as a written assignment and explain in detail the steps of preparing and administering both a solid and liquid medication. That'll be next week, not today. But just to kind of give you a heads up, I did include the information to start looking at already. So you're going to see this, which I believe I called instructions for medication administration competency evaluation. And it just goes through and it shows you how to handle pills. The pills are, which you probably have seen from the videos already, they are usually blister packed sometimes and you just pop them out. You never, never, never touch pills with your own fingers and give them to a patient. If they're not in blister packs, then they're just kind of shaken out into the cap and then put into a little dosing cup to give the patient, but never physically touching them. There's also typical documentation here, okay, what you would write when you give the medication. The bottom is crossed out. Some of these are crossed out. You don't have to worry about them too much. Then I give you one that talks about reading the liquid measurement and how you would document and exactly how to do it. You have methodology here on both for giving tablets and giving liquids. Let's see. Another page, just do's and don'ts of oral medications when you administer it. And the last page talks about using a dosing spoon or a syringe, okay? Do's and don'ts for doing that as well, okay? So you will find that as well as the competency evaluations, all right? This would have been what I would have been checking off if we were doing a simulation. Take really good notice of this because I'm literally going to ask you to write me very explicitly how you would give a patient, how you would prepare the medication and then administer it. Okay, so that came off of the last sheets and these sheets. And it tells you exactly what is expected of you. You're going to have to assemble equipment, wash your hands, prepare the medication. Remember, you check it 3 times. Watching the videos, I'm sure you've seen this already from last week. And it goes through everything that you're going to do to prepare yourself to administer the medications. Okay? That's preparing them. Then the second part of the simulation would have been actually giving the medication. And pay very specific attention because this is how I would grade you. So when I ask you to write in a written manner exactly how you would prepare and administer medication, I'm literally wanting you to explain it this way, okay? It's not going to be, I don't want you just to do this verbatim. It's going to be, I'll give you instructions. It's probably just going to be in an essay form, but very important that you hit upon all these things here. Exactly how you remove the cap from the bottle. Do you hold it? Do you place it down? Which side do you place down? The top of the cap, the turned up side? What do you do? And there's 2 pages of that. Okay? So I included them this week so you could start looking at them. All right? As always, if you have any questions, never hesitate to send me an email. Bye for now.